Hello and greetings to everyone. Welcome to our group presentation for ACC 407. Today, we will be talking about financial accounting and reporting for a sole proprietorship or partnership business. Let me start by introducing myself and the rest of my team members. My name is Cheri Elizabeth Rokia Gilong Eret and my student ID is 20233713111. The rest of my team members are Miss Lyna Salwina binti Jasri, Miss Mardiana binti Amir, and Miss Nurul Adila binti Adnan. This is a video conducted by my team member interviewing the account owner, Miss Nahisa, located in Beaufort.
Boleh tak Cik terangkan latar belakang Cik secara peribadi?
Nama saya Nurul Nahisa binti Jalani. Boleh panggil Nahisa je. Saya orang Beaufort.
Boleh beritahu latar belakang bisnes anda?
Start dari tahun 2019. Semula pun selepas saya habis belajar dari Getmara, saya masuk dalam bidang ni, jahitan pakaian wanita dan kanak-kanak, tapi tidak itu je lah, banyak lagi yang tempahan saya ambil.
Okey. Nama bisnes? Jenis perniagaan?
Nama kedai saya J&J Enterprise. Kami berada di kedai sementara Anjung Jaya Beaufort. Ya, lokasi yang lebih jelas di belakang Petronas lah.
Macam mana dengan modal permulaan untuk memulakan bisnes?
Modal yang saya gunakan semuanya duit sendirilah.
Jadi bisnes aktiviti memang aktiviti menjahit lah?
Ya, menjahit sahaja. Ya, menjahit, ambil tempahan luar. Ya, itu sahajalah.
Boleh tahu siapakah idola Cik untuk yang menggalakkan Cik untuk mencuburi perniagaan ini?
Ibu bapa saya lah. Ya, setelah saya sambung belajar kan, masuk dalam Getmara ambil bidang jahitan. Ada peluang. Saya nampak ada peluang di situ. Jadi, walaupun dalam waktu pandemik tu ada orang pun ya, sebab customer pun kita tidak boleh kontak dengan orang kan. Tapi di situ alhamdulillah ada juga.
Ada rezeki.
Ya, ada rezeki.
Bagaimana dengan pengurusan operasi penerbangan Cik dari segi mesin dan juga benang-benang, macam mana nak dapatkan dah?
Okay. Kami buka setiap hari Isnin hingga Jumaat sahaja.
Okey.
Dari jam 9 pagi hingga 5 petang sahaja. Pasal bahan-bahan, saya mendapatkan daripada kedai yang berdekatan lah. Kalau di Beaufort ni ya, Isha, Santia. Kalau peralatan jahitan, mesin ni saya beli sendiri dekat Singa. Kalau buat striker dan striker tu pun sama juga. Bahan-bahan yang lain tu dari KK lah, sebab di sini ada yang beda kan.
Biasanya bagaimana dengan pelanggan? Nak dapatkan pelanggan tu susah ke?
Pelanggan tu tidak juga susah.
Okay.
Ya, sebab kawasan kami terbuka, orang random sahaja datang. Ya.
Bolehkah Cik Nahisa berkongsi berapa anggaran keuntungan Cik?
Kalau keuntungan tu dia turun naik. perayaan untung lebih besar daripada bulan-bulan biasa.
Ya.
Sampai dalam 5 angka macam tu, bergantung tempahan. Saya tidak dapat tetapkan satu bulan berapa kemasukan tu, tidak dapat bergantung kepada customer juga.
As you can see from the previous video, this is a sole proprietorship business. Now let's talk about the business characteristic. Number 1, ownership. For sole proprietor business, the business is owned by a single owner. The business is started by the initiative of a single person. Number 2 is the capital contribution. For Miss Nahiza, she started up her business with her own personal saving. Number 3 is management control. Her business is controlled by one person only, which is Miss Nahiza. Number 4 is liability. For a sole proprietorship business, the liability is unlimited, which means the owner is liable to pay all debts for the company. Number 5 is books of account or legal requirement. For a sole proprietorship business, there is no legal requirement to keep books or prepare accounts. Now let's talk about the classification of business items. Number 1 is assets. Assets is divided into two, which is current assets and non-current assets. Current assets are the resources that a business owns and expect to use or sell within a year. Her current assets are cash, cash in hand, and cash in the bank. And inventory, which is stock for fabrics, needles, or even beads. Next is non-current assets. Non-current assets are assets and property owned by a business that are not easily converted into cash within a year. For this business, the non-current assets are equipments, premise, and furniture. Next is liabilities. Liabilities is also divided into two, which is non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Non-current liabilities are long-term financial obligation listed to a company's balance sheet. For Miss Nahiza, her business does not have a non-liability. This is due this company do not contribute with loans or any debt with the bank or other parties. Next is current liabilities. Current liabilities is one the company expect to pay in the short term using assets notes on the present balance sheet. For Miss Nahiza, her current liabilities are money owed to supplier, income, client payment, pre-sold goods, and services. Next business item is capital. Capital is a fund invested by the owner into the business. For Miss Nahiza, she had brought in 8,000 of her personal saving to start up her business. Revenue, also known as income, which is the amount of money brought into the business. This comes from selling goods, products, or services. For this business, Miss Nahiza's earnings are from walk-in customers and through her service sewing clothes. And her income differs from regular days versus festive season. During festive seasons, her earnings are much higher. She can reach up to average 10,000 a month. For regular days, her average income is around 3,000 a month. Expenses. Expenses is the cost of operations that company incurs to generate revenue. For Miss Nahiza's business, her expenses are paying her utility bills, which is her electricity bill and water bill. Next is her rental expenses, purchase of sewing material.
Hi, my name is Mardiana binti Amir with ID numbers 2023720501. Today I will present to you recording process of J&J's Enterprise. Miss Naisa is running her business by herself in Beaufort. Mostly everybody know she is a famous tailor with a quality stitching. Based on accounting cycle, there are 8 steps, but since the owner is sole proprietorship, so she applies step 1, identify transaction, step 2, record the transaction, and lastly, step 8, close your book. Step 1, identify the transaction. Miss Naisa will purchase offense items like fabric, needles, thread, and others. She will keep all receipt inside the book and just write down that what item and amount that she paid at the time. Step 2, record the transaction. She record manually in the book to record the transactions and all receipt inside the book. So we borrow the book and help Miss Naisa to create statement of profit and loss, also statement of financial position for the year ended 31st May 2023. We use Excel software to sum up in 1 year accounting period based on data at the book and all documents. First, sales of sewing services from J&J's Enterprise is totally 25,300 ringgit in 1 year. Then, there's a no transactions for return inward and discount allowed. Second, for opening inventory, we estimate around 2,500 ringgit as we discussed with the owner. Purchases all the sewing tools with amount 6,000 ringgit and deduct return outward for 100 ringgit. Carriage inwards is a shipping cost of expensive fabric to Miss Naisa with amount 100 ringgit. So the purchase amount after deduction is 6,000 ringgit. We estimate closing inventory is 2,127 ringgit. Eventually, amount net sales deduct the cost of goods sold amount and totally gross profit amount with 18,000 ringgit, 927 ringgit. Third, no transaction involved in revenue like dividend received or rent received. Miss Naisa has just started a journey in a business after studying at Giamara. After that, we list all the expenses based on the receipt, and all the expenses is totally 1,312 ringgit. To get net profit, total gross profit less expenses and totally 17,615 ringgit in 1 year accounting period. Then we move to statement of financial position for the year ended 31st May 2023 of J&J's Enterprise. There are assets, capital, and liability. To begin with, non-current asset is equipment with a cost 750 ringgit and machine sewing is 3,000 ringgit as mentioned in interview. Then to calculate accumulated of depreciation, cost of fixed asset deduct salvage value, divide useful life assumption, then times numbers of years. The cost fixed asset minus accumulated depreciation amount and totally net book value is 2,685 ringgit. Next, current assets include cash and bank plus closing inventory within amount 24,115 ringgit. As a result, total asset is 24,000 ringgit 115 ringgit. To highlight owner equity, detail of Miss Naisa mentioned the capital to start her business is around 8,000 ringgit by her saving money. Meanwhile, she withdrew 1,500 ringgit for one personal use only. In particular, we need add back amount 17,000 ringgit, 615 ringgit of profit and loss. Next part is liability. As Miss Naisa mentioned in an interview, she applied loan from Mara, but no further respond, so there are no transactions for non-current liability. After all, no transactions for current liability like account payable. Final, the result of statement financial for the year end 31st May 2023 is totally equity and liability is 24,115 ringgit tally with total asset amount. Step 8. Close the books. Finally, we will the end of the specified closing date in 1 year account. The closing statement provides a report for analysis of performance over the period. After closing, the accounting cycle starts over again from the beginning with a new reporting period.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nurul Adila binti Adnan. My student card number is 2023103463. Today I will share about the strength and weakness JJ Enterprise. When my group members and I visit JJ Enterprise, it was found that the location of Cik Naisa's shop was very strategic, where many people were passing by in the area. Besides that, Miss Naisa also does not need to market the products and services she offers because she has many regular customers, especially when it comes to festive season like the Eid celebration. Last but not least, Cik Naisa wants to take leave. She can take leave at any time without having to fill out a leave form. Besides, J&J Enterprise has several advantages. However, there are several disadvantages when running a sole proprietorship business. One of the weaknesses is that all the transactions made by Cik Naisa are done manually without proper documentation. This will make it difficult for internal and external users to track cash flow and transactions. Also, the use of ledgers show down the process of finding information, which will affect the service efficiency. Lastly, the risk of information loss increase caused by human error. Thank you.
My name is Lyna binti Cheri. My ID student is 2023176471. In conclusion, a sole proprietorship is the simple business structure, and it is one of several common options to start a business. However, you need to consider the pros and cons to decide which is the best approach. By providing accounting record and analysis accounting information, financial status can be known whether the business is make profit or loss. And also, we can identify the corrective action to improve any hiccup in the business. Thank you.